Welcome to the deep dive. It's interesting how we usually frame tourism. It's either big business, all about the money.
Or just kicking back, right? A passive escape.
Exactly, just leisure time. But what if there's another layer? Something deeper we're missing.
There absolutely is. And that's what's so fascinating, especially with cultural tourism. Our mission today really is to uncover its powerful educational side.
Educational, okay.
Yeah, and it's not just for you, the traveler, wanting to learn something new. It impacts the host communities, too. And importantly, the professionals actually guiding these experiences.
That makes sense. And I was really struck by something you mentioned earlier, this ancient link between leisure and school. Skole, was it?
That's right, the Greek skole. It's a game changer for how we think about leisure.
How so? Can you unpack that a bit?
Well, it shifts leisure away from just, empty time or idleness. It becomes this intentional space, this freedom from being constantly busy, a freedom for genuine learning, for personal growth. What the Greeks called formation, shaping who you are.
So it's active, not passive. It's about enriching your inner self, maybe, rather than just, scrolling through feeds.
Precisely. And that really highlights the problem with a lot of modern leisure, doesn't it? It can get so commercialized.
Or just purely functional, like doing something only for a specific payoff, not for the experience itself.
Right. And that's where cultural tourism, done well, really shines. It's a perfect example of what we might call creative leisure.
Creative leisure. Because you, the traveler, are actively involved. You're seeking something more.
Exactly. You're looking for personal enrichment, not just facts or figures. You want something authentic.
Something that feels real.
Yeah, something rigorous but still enjoyable, an experience that genuinely gives life to history, maybe connecting you with local stories, the anecdotes, even the legends.
So it's about your active participation, moving beyond just looking at things.
Definitely. It's about co-creating that experience, finding a real connection to the local identity, not just ticking a box on a list.
Okay, but someone needs to help make that happen, right? It doesn't just materialize.
Good point. And that brings us to the cultural tourism professional. Their role is absolutely critical here.
Because they need that blend of skills. Not just knowing stuff, but knowing how to share it effectively.
Exactly. A dual expertise. Deep cultural knowledge, of course, but also those crucial pedagogical, those teaching skills.
So if they're like educators, what does that actually involve?
Well, you can think of it in three main ways. First, there's informing.
Yeah, giving information.
Yes, but it's way beyond just reciting dates or basic logistics. It's providing those specific, unique cultural details, things that are meaningful, that spark curiosity.
Like the story behind the artifact, not just what it is.
Spot on, the why it matters part.
Yeah.
Then building on that, there's forming.
Forming? What do you mean by that?
This is the deeper educational piece. It's not about rote memorization. It's about helping you structure that information, connect the dots.
So helping you make sense of it all. See the bigger picture.
Precisely. So you can extrapolate, draw your own conclusions. It's aiming for a genuine personal transformation, something that actually changes your perspective a little.
Okay. Informing, forming. What's the third element?
The third one is animating. This is really about bringing the whole experience to life, making it vivid, engaging, memorable.
Giving it spark.
Exactly. Think about visiting an old ruin. The professional who animates helps you almost feel the history. Maybe they share a local legend tied to one specific stone or describe daily life back then.
Making the past feel present somehow.
Yes. And it's also about encouraging your participation, making sure the whole interaction feels welcoming, empathetic. Qualities like empathy, versatility, a genuine warmth, they're indispensable.
That makes a lot of sense.
Sure.
Now let's widen the lens a bit. What about the impact on the host communities themselves?
Oh, the potential benefits are significant. It can really stimulate local development, provide income.
And preserve culture.
Absolutely. Both the tangible self-building sites and the intangible crafts, music, stories, traditions. It can revitalize local culture, strengthen that sense of identity.
And foster exchange between cultures.
Definitely. It can be a really powerful force for good when managed properly, a really rich exchange.
But there are risks too, aren't there, if it's not handled carefully?
Yes, absolutely critical risks. You can get this sort of artificialization, culture becoming a performance, losing its authenticity just to appeal to tourists.
Or commercialized to the point where its original meaning is lost.
Right. There's also the risk of acculturation, where the local culture might start changing in ways that dilute its uniqueness because of outside influence.
And potentially negative feelings from locals.
Unfortunately, yes. If people feel their culture or resources are being exploited or taken over, it can lead to feelings of usurpation or even rejection. It needs very thoughtful management.
So pulling it all together, cultural tourism isn't just a trip. It's this potentially powerful educational journey.
For everyone involved, really. You, the traveler, the professionals facilitating it, and the host communities sharing their world. It's a vehicle for growth on all sides.
Spot on. Which leads us to a final thought for you, our listener, to sort of mull over.
Yeah.
How can we, all of us, individually and maybe collectively, make sure that cultural tourism truly does enrich everyone? How do we celebrate and genuinely preserve these cultures rather than just consuming them? Welcome to the deep dive. It's interesting how we usually frame tourism. It's either big business,